Hello there, Eamon McAuley here with another wee chat about boxing. Uh, Today's subject is 10 of the fiercest rivalries in boxing history. Dempsey Tunney boxed each other twice. They weren't wildly exciting fights. In the first fight, Tunney won every round. Second fight, Tunney won the first 6 rounds, then got dropped by a Dempsey left hook in what was known as the Battle of the Long Count. Tony rose when the ref said nine, and that's all that matters, and boxed his way out of danger, winning the next 3 rounds, including dropping Dempsey in the ninth to win the decision. This wasn't what I would call a rivalry. Now, Tony Greb, that was a rivalry. They boxed each other 5 times. First fight, Greb gave Tony a vicious beating, breaking Tony's cheekbone in the first round. Tony's face was a mess and he lost 2 quarts of blood. In Gene's book, Men Must Fight, he says how I survived that first round is a mystery. It was for the American light heavyweight title and was over 15 rounds. Tony signed for a rematch while still in hospital. The rematch went to a split verdict and Tony got the nod, though most people thought that Greb deserved it. That made it one each. And don't forget, Greb was only a middleweight. Tony was a light heavyweight, just about to go up to heavyweight. The third fight was won by Tony, with Greb finishing fast, but he left it too late. The fourth fight was a draw, and the fifth and final fight between these two great rivals was won by Tony, and this time it was a clear verdict. Greb said to Tony at the end of the fight, "You're getting too big for me, Gene. You'll beat Dempsey." If Greb had have got the decision in the second fight, which he deserved, then it would have been 2 wins each and a draw in their 5-fight rivalry. Do you know Gene Tunney never boxed a black guy? He did 82 pro fights, never boxed a black guy, and Jack Dempsey only boxed 4 black guys. Greb, that's the great thing about him. Greb didn't care who you were. He fought everybody. He was actually blinded by Kid Norfolk, a black man, who thumbed him in the eye in 2021. Greb lost his title to Tiger Flowers, who was a black man. He boxed Jack Blackburn, amongst others. Jack Blackburn was the coach of Joe Lewis. So there you are. Sandy Sadler knocked out Willie Pep. Hold on, will you get a wee cup? Hold on, we drink a tea here. Just a wee second. Oh, still too hot. Sandy Sadler knocked out Willie Pep in a shocking upset in 1948. They boxed 4 times. Both would have a serious argument of being in the top 10 pound for pound boxers who ever lived. Sadler won the other 4 fights, but the 4 fights were after Pep was involved in a plane crash that killed 5 people and left him with a broken back. The doctors told Willie that he would never walk again, but just a few months later, Pep was boxing again. In the second fight, Willie Pep was poetry in motion. I have read Pep's performance was the greatest ever display of pure boxing. Unfortunately, the footage doesn't exist now. The rematch brought Pep's record to 137 wins, 2 defeats and 1 draw. The third fight in 1950 was Sadler. Going into the fight, Sadler was an 8-5 betting favourite. Try as he might to replicate the success in fight 2, a frustrated Pep, clearly in distress, retired on a stool after the 7th round due to a dislocated shoulder. His shoulder popped out. In the fourth fight, Sadler was a 9-5 bookies favourite. This time Pep would not have to be bullied or coerced into fighting Sadler's fight. He would willingly give vent to his desire to inflict as much pain or more pain than he was apt to receive, no matter how strategically and prudent that was. Declining to leave his stool after 9 completed rounds, Pep's eye was completely closed after a left hook from Sadler in the second. He kept sticking his thumb in my eye, complained Pep, who was ahead in the scorecards. That was a great rivalry. Joe Lewis Max Schmeling wasn't really a rivalry either, in my opinion. Joe was stopped in the 12th round in the first fight. Max couldn't miss Joe a right hand. Joe was carrying his left hand low. And the rematch, Joe knocked out Schmeling in the first round. You see, America was at war with Germany then, and Schmeling was a German. Lewis was an American. But not a great rivalry, not a fierce rivalry. Between 1942 and 1951, Sugar Ray Robinson and Jake LaMotta boxed 6 times. Robinson won the first fight unanimously. In the second fight, Robinson was knocked out of the ring and got back into the ring just before the referee counted 9. Robinson lost a unanimous decision, his first defeat after a 40-fight winning streak. The third fight between these two gladiators was 21 days later. Ray was knocked down in the 7th, but got up to win a unanimous verdict. Sugar Ray won the 4th also. The 5th fight was a 12-rounder, unlike the previous fights between them, and the crowd booed a split decision win for Robinson. Sugar Ray said that this was their toughest fight yet. They didn't box again for 5 years. When they did meet up again, the middleweight title was on the line. LaMotta had forced Marcel Cerdan to retire with a shoulder injury in round 9. In fight 6, LaMotta fought a brave and courageous fight and had Robinson pinned on the ropes for at least a minute, throwing a fusillade of punches in the 11th round. Robinson withstood the barrage, but LaMotta didn't in the 13th round, crumbling under Robinson's assault. Robinson was a new world middleweight champion, and this was the last fight of their rivalry. They called this fight the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales was a brilliant trilogy of fights. Real quality on display and non-stop action. 2 Mexicans. I thought Barrera won the first, but Morales got it. I thought Morales won the second, but Barrera got it. The third was too close to call, but Barrera just pinched it on the scorecards. Juan Miguel Marquez and Manny Pacquiao had 4 fights, and the quality was incredible. The first ended as a draw, with Marquez getting knocked down 3 times in the first round. The second fight was a split verdict for Manny. In the third fight, Marquez got robbed. Marquez made no mistake knocking Manny cold in the 4th fight. But what a rivalry. Fierce rivalry. See, these are guys that fought each other 4 and 5 times. Ali Frazier won, which was dubbed the fight of the century, was the biggest fight in boxing history. There'll never be another fight as big as that. The first time 2 unbeaten champions came together. The US government stripped Ali of his title for refusing to be drafted. He couldn't box for 3 years. He was in his prime then. After 2 comeback wins against Quarry and Bonavina, Ali stepped into the ring to meet a prime Frazier. Smoking Joe badly hurt Ali in the 11th and knocked Ali down in the 15th and final round to seal a unanimous decision. Ali boxed Frazier again the following year, 1972, winning the 12-round unanimous decision. The third fight was in the Philippines and was dubbed the Thriller in Manila. And this fight was the best of the trilogy. Everyone thought Frazier, who was destroyed by George Foreman, was finished, including Ali. Ali won the early rounds, then Frazier came on strong from round 6 to 11. Then Muhammad took control again. In a truly thrilling fight, Frazier didn't come out for the final round. He wanted to come out, but his coach Eddie Futch wouldn't let him. Eddie Futch said no. He then added, "Nobody will ever forget what you done here tonight." Sale Graziano was three brilliant slugfests, as was Ward Getty in their two fights. Duran de Jesus was a thrilling trilogy also. Bobby Chacon and Rafael Bazooka Lemon had four exciting fights. Harry Wells and Sam Langford, two absolute boxing legends, pound for pound fighters, boxed each other 18 times because white men wouldn't fight them. Because they were too dangerous and because of the colour of their skin. Ali Norton was also a great trilogy. In the first fight, Norton broke Ali's jaw and won a deserved verdict. The second and third fights could have went either way. Once again, folks, these are just my views and opinions, not Google's. I only go on Google to double check in case I've made mistakes. Thanks for tuning in. Have a nice day. Take care and God bless.